As we get closer and closer to September, Tokyo Game Show is just around the corner. Gamescom is now officially behind us. Thankfully, Capcom didn't really have any massive reveals there. We shouldn't have been expecting anything, especially since Capcom is going to be making a massive push for Tokyo Game Show in the middle of September. And today we have some really interesting information to go over, suggesting that the source code for the official Capcom Tokyo Game Show 2023 page is actually hiding within the source code itself the full-on reveal of Monster Hunter 6, and people are starting to dig into it. So these are the early days. We presume that more information will begin to show up sooner rather than later. Maybe by the time that this video goes live, more details will become available, so hopefully I can follow up an update onto this video if you want to find out more. So first and foremost, I'm going to try to explain everything that's going on, but I also want to source everything because that is something that I like to do so people don't think I'm just making crap up. That is not what this channel is about. You guys know that already. First and foremost, huge shout out to NMIA. This is an aggregate game media fan page, officially sourced from Facebook. They are Chinese. They provide information for many games, so they're not necessarily just focused on Monster Hunter or anything along those lines. They have been covering many reveals from Asian games being revealed at Gamescom in the past few days. So I'm going to be leaving a link in the description below for the NMIA gaming page over at Facebook. Now, one of the things that they spoke about and they reported on just a few days ago, by the time that this video goes live, is the fact that the Capcom Tokyo Game Show 2023 website. So if you guys don't necessarily know, about a week or so ago I made a video, and of course link in the description below for the official page as well. Capcom did go ahead and confirm that on September 22nd, 23rd, and the 24th, they will be hosting both a physical and a digital event presentation for Tokyo Game Show. The digital presentation will be on September 21st, and the physical, like actually if you live in Japan, you can go to the Tokyo Game Show between September 21st, 22nd, and the 23rd and 24th. So there's going to be almost a full week of support there in the physical format. They officially confirmed that they're going to be talking, of course, about Resident Evil 4 VR mode, Street Fighter 6, Exo Primal's, I believe, season pass or whatever, like post-launch content, which is getting a lot of course, Monster Hunter Now, which I spoke a little bit about in that video. Maybe at the back end of this video I could talk a little bit about more of that. And Ace Detective, I believe, is the remake from a couple of the 3DS games that I believe originally only ever released in Japan or something along those lines. And basically those are the 5 games that they confirmed officially in their original post, that those are the games that they're going to be showcasing in their Tokyo Game Show presentation. Now, it is being suggested that in the source code, you can actually go ahead and find that the source code reveals that other than the 5 games announced, new games are being unannounced and a title may be featured in the game show. So I'm going to be trying to overlay some images here so you guys can actually take a closer look at the source code. Now, as far as I'm aware, as of the time this video going live, the source code should remain the same. So this is something you should be able to see for yourselves on the actual on the page. But of course, as information like this gets out, chances are Capcom is going to go ahead and try to clean things up a little bit, so maybe some of these things end up getting removed. One of the things that's got everyone excited is the fact that there's a logo there, but of course it's blocked off. You can't actually see it. It's just a suggestion there. There's another logo for another yet unannounced game being showed up there, but as of right now, the code or the logo itself, this code just suggested there's another code there for a logo that is supposed to be revealed, and we expect, of course, for this to be the logo of Monster Hunter 6, Generation 6, Monster Hunter World 2, Monster Hunter Rise 2, whatever the end, or Paradise, like I've joked about before, whatever they end up calling the game, it's completely irrelevant. But the entire purpose of this is that, of course, they're going to end up revealing it. Now, one of the things that a lot of people are probably going to get turned off about, even if this ends up being true, which is, more information is going to come out sooner rather than later, is the fact that there's a very good likelihood that Capcom hosts this Tokyo Game Show presentation. They talk about their 5 games. They talk about Monster Hunter Now at the end, which I want to get to in just a little bit. And then they showcase just a very quick teaser with maybe just a monster, maybe just even an image of a monster, and then a logo being flashed on the screen, and then we'll talk about it later, and more information in 2024 or whatever, and that's the end of that. So everyone goes crazy over a huge reveal, which was, of course, that is what we're expecting, but we're not actually getting a full-on trailer. We're not getting any details. Ryosu Sugimoto is asking some sort of interview afterwards, hey, what are you going to tell us about Monster Hunter Generation 6? And he just says, stay tuned for more information, next year or something like that. And all the buildup has been pretty much just for a logo. So there is that high potential, and that is exactly what I expect Capcom to do. I've spoken about this in the past before, so that is most likely what I fully expect. Even if we just get a logo, is most likely the most we're gonna get. If we even to get a monster or something, the flagship or an outline of a flagship, that would probably even be too much for Capcom. So at the end of the day, that's pretty much what I would expect. If the rumors of a 2024 release in March are to be believed, like I spoke about in a separate video as well, based on their fiscal reports, then they're certainly going to begin to talk about it at sometime around January or February. But of course, we don't necessarily know much from there. Now, a lot of people would argue that Capcom would not necessarily reveal, and I'm trying to play devil's advocate here on both sides. A lot of people would argue that Capcom is not going to reveal a brand new Monster Hunter game while they're still talking about Monster Hunter Now. And in most regards, I would actually agree with that. However, remember, Tokyo Game Show is taking place on the 21st, September 21st. I believe Monster Hunter Now releases September 14th. Worldwide, that is, although some people have full access to the game already in certain nations. So it would be one of those things where, like, the game is actually officially out. It is not, obviously Generation 6 is not coming to mobile devices. So it's one of those things where, like, it's not competing with itself. And we do expect there to be some sort of crossover situation. We do expect there to be like collaborations, events, and things that appear in Generation 6 should eventually make their way into Monster Hunter Now. Maybe armor sets, celebration events. If you log into this one, you get rewards in the other one. If you join the other one, you will get rewards on this one. That kind of a thing. Capcom is very good at doing that, cross-pollinating between their titles. So in order for the Monster Hunter Now to get some love, they talk about 6, but then they eventually continue to, hey, if you cannot wait to play Monster Hunter Generation 6, why don't you go ahead and play Monster Hunter Now while you wait? One of those things. So I fully expect them to do all of that, and of course, plenty of information is expected regarding Monster Hunter Now's roadmap. Now at Gamescom there were some information being revealed there. I do want to talk about that in a separate video because it does get relatively lengthy, but at the end of the day, what we are seeing here today is source code suggestions that a brand new logo for something. It could potentially just be a brand new Mega Man game. I've spoken about that as well. There is a lot of discussions regarding a new Mega Man coming as well. Not some sort of collection, not some repackage of old games for an actual new Mega Man game as well. So there is the potential of that happening, of course. But at the end of the day, source code doesn't necessarily lie. This is something that Capcom on themselves is setting up. No one's doing this page except people who work for Capcom or are being paid by Capcom. So of course, when things like this kind of pop up, one of those direct references would probably be whenever there is a queued up video for like an upcoming suggestion Nintendo Direct, and then the next day Nintendo reveals, hey, there's actually a Nintendo Direct happening tomorrow, and then that queued up video was the early suggestion that a new Direct was going to drop in a few days or something like that. And that's how insiders begin to talk about, hey, we actually heard this because this was suggested, etc., etc. So this is no different to me in that regard, and it does begin to suggest that yes, indeed, Capcom will be talking about something major, maybe an unrevealed name that it could not even be Monster Hunter Generation 6. It could be potentially something else. But of course, based on everything we know so far, based on Ryosu Sugimoto's very own wording, based on their very own, Capcom's very own fiscal reports, as of July of earlier this year, just last month, the beginning of July, they spoke about major reveals coming before the end of the year in a game that is set to release before fiscal 2023 ends, which is of course April of 2024. So major information should be expected. And I mean, at the end of the day, we're all going to be tuning in for that Tokyo Game Show Capcom Digital Showcase presentation event. But that's about all the information that I have for you guys today. Once again, huge shout out to NMIA's official Facebook game media fan page. I do want to make this very clear. I do believe that the official actual people who looked into the source code are actually like Chinese players who ended up discovering it, but it got aggregated through this official Facebook channel page. So at the end of the day, I believe they end up getting the credit, but or maybe it was suggested to them. I don't necessarily know the details on that, but that is how it came across my feed. So I rather source the people who actually know about it than anyone, and not just provide any source. So that is pretty much all the information that we know so far. But of course, expect more details on this, because people are gonna blow up that page, and so eventually they're gonna, you know, and going through more source code and figure out something. Maybe they could actually unlock that image and see what it actually is. We'll know soon enough. If you're brand new to my channel though, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up. And as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.